Three 20-lap qualifying heats were held on the Saturday of this October long weekend. The first 7 cars from each event going into Monday's final, with Sunday being a day off. The first 7 place getters from each of 3 heats would go into Monday's final. However, as only 7 starters came to the grid for the first qualifier, it was only a matter of finishing. Lex Davidson was a non-starter in the HWM as he was ill in bed with viral pneumonia. Tom Hawkes and Kevin Neal, Cooper Bristol's, made a race of it for the first 3 laps, but then Neal eased up to save his car for the big race, and from then on the qualifier was just a procession. Nine cars fronted for the second qualifier, with M. Trenberth, Vincent 1000, taking the lead, followed by W. Craig in the Alta Holden and Bill Patterson in the Cooper. The order of these first 3 did not alter for the whole 20 laps. Further back, Bruce Walton in the Walton 500 spun, entering pit straight, but kept his motor running and restarted. And Jay Cummings in the Bugatti Holden on one occasion went down the escape road at the end of the main straight. Heat 3 promised more interest as the 4 fastest cars had been saved for this event, and again there were 9 starters. Stan Jones in the Maybach was out in front for the first lap, followed by Reg Hunt, Jack Brabham and Doug Whiteford in the Largo Talbot. Then Hunt took over the lead for the rest of the way. 10, the cars had spread right out, and Whitefoot, tired from lack of sleep after a very eventful trip from Melbourne, was content to cruise around. Hunt kept motoring reasonably fast to lap all the field except Jones and Brabham. 1955 Australian Grand Prix race cars. 69 years and still going strong. This was the first time a rear-engine car had won the Australian Grand Prix. It was seen as an out-of-the-ordinary upset win, but the next one would not be until 1960. In October 1955, an impressionable 12-year-old South Australian boy travelled 4 hours with his sister and family in a Vanguard to Port Wakefield to attend his first car race meeting. That boy was Vern Schuppan, who would go on to become one of Australia's top international racing drivers and win Le Mans. Vern says, "There was just something about the car that stuck with me all these years, and so he recently bought the car that fascinated him above all others as a child." Running Doug Whiteford's Talbot Largo car now in historic races, he says, "It is really cool, and I have to pinch myself when I think about personally owning this car." This was Brabham's first Grand Prix win and motivated him to return to the UK and attack the World Drivers' Championship.